And even if you were to have like a prompt of 10 different things, right? Like say if you had one prompt of like, oh, like here's 10 different personality traits, here's 10 different superpowers, here's 10 different drawbacks.
I like coming up with random list of powers and then just see what I come up with.
Imagine rolling just those things every single time. It's always going to vary. The possibility of that happening is, again, like a 1 in 10 chance, but it's like, it shows that there's
always something else cool right around the corner that we can come up with, because there's no end to the prompts. There's no end to what we can roll up.
Now we're going to be officially rolling for superpowers. This is usually the make or break.
Heyo, and hello everyone. It is us, your two weird unks, here on a whimsically whacked out Wednesday. Welcome everyone to Roll for Hero, a segment of the channel in which we let the dice dictate what on God's green earth we will be drawing for today. It is me, your weird Uncle E, with my beautifully bald-headed, big bearded co-star. You know him, you love him, the big fish in the small pond of indie comics, Mr. Fish.
What is up, everybody? Glad to be here. Glad to see Dragon Gaming and Ben in the comments. Ben, I'm here to tell you, man, you're a freaking menace, dude. I've been looking through the hashtag Roll for Hero, and brother is sitting out here putting out like 3, 4, 5 characters every freaking week. Like nobody else is putting up the kind of numbers this cat's putting up. Oh, yeah, there is 2 Mr. Fishes this week, isn't there?
I guess I'm not the Uncle E anymore. Well, that's retired now. I'm gonna switch that.
It happens sometimes.
That's just how it be.
All right, it's an easy enough change, but old Eagle Eye Ben there spotted it. Yeah, I went through and was saving as many of the Roll for Hero images as I could find, because I like to keep them in a folder so I can have access to the images. And man, I was on Ben's profile for a hot minute.
Yeah, and I just gave it a quick glimpse and everything like that. But bro, and not only that, but I also know your main inspiration too, because I've seen your posing. I've seen like how you pose and position your characters. So I know that Pop Cross is definitely like a very big inspiration for you, which I love the guy's videos too. So I don't blame you in the slightest for that. But you, again, out of all the Roll for Hero stuff, I think it was like what, Dadpool and so far Benjamin over here.
They're putting up numbers, man.
Yeah, putting out numbers. Now listen, I am not stating that they're the only 2. Because a lot of other people out there making amazing characters that I at least probably haven't seen yet. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. I'm not sure. I'm crazy sometimes because I'm Hispanic. But jokes aside, though, today's going to be a really fun episode as per usual. You know how it is. I love Wednesdays. So we're going to try to get straight to the point here, just because of the fact that we are now on a bit more of a limited time span, just because I know right after this, Mr. Fish has like another podcast with a bunch of his other buddies that he does with. So I'm yapping. I think I have been chatting for way too long. I think it's about time that we officially begin the process. Grab your dice, grab a writing utensil, follow along the journey as we are still diving into the sci-fi saga here in Season 2, Episode 9 of Roll for Hero. What kind of character are we going to be? Let's get to it. Sorry, I'm still talking too much. My Lord. Anyways, funnily enough, now that I saw that, now that you kind of use the He-Man and stuff like that, it reminds me of the trailer that I actually saw for the He-Man movie.
Dude.
Like, and when I saw when I saw freaking Skeletor, I'm like,
oh yeah.
Oh, okay, now I see why.
Man, like Fisto and Spikor and all the other characters in the background, like you catch glimpses of like Mechanic and all these other stuff and Ram Man and stuff in the background. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I have a couple little nitpicky beefs, but it's gonna be neat. Okay, let's get on to the tables. I made up a couple of new tables today just to keep it interesting. I posted them on Instagram and Facebook. There is actually a link in the description to the new tables that I put out today if you want to follow the links there. The first thing we're going to do is roll for our race. Now, my question to you, Esteban, is do we want to roll up our own individual things this week, or do we want to do the same prompt and see what we get?
I feel like it would be interesting if we rolled up a different race, and then we'll probably go off of you know what? This is actually a really good point. Because we had two amazing characters that we started off with Jupiter Jack and Meteor Mandy, because we went off the same prompt. I think this would be a fun one if we kind of went separate.
That's what I'm thinking, because we did them off the same prompt last time. I'd like to see where we get with two different original ones this time. So, all right. So then we'll each roll up our own then. So,
and if y'all want to join, make sure to grab yourself a tabletop set, 2 classic D6, and just roll along with us, and make sure to write it down and get yourself all properly, ready for creating God knows what. What do we got there, Mr. Fish?
All right, the first one is going to be our race, which we've got superhuman, alien, android, and elemental being a human-alien hybrid or a robot. 1d6. See what we get.
Okay, first time I got an android.
There you go.
And then also Jordan over here is like, could you guys do a city level hero at some point? Trust me, we would love to. Maybe at some point we'll figure that out. Again, right now we're still within the sci-fi universe. Maybe in other, maybe in season 3, depending on what the heck we roll up for the next setting for season 3.
I kind of think of my character I did on the anti-hero week as like a city level character. Let's see. If you got an elemental character, then this would be your element table. Neither one of us did, but you got fire, ice, water, rock, crystal, radiation, which could be electricity or fire or something, whatever you want it to be. Again, loose interpretations. But that's there for a few minutes if anybody needs to that for rolling.
While that's there, Dragon Gaming just put out the best comment I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Been working on GMing a dispatch-themed one-shot for a superhero tabletop game. And one of the aliens I made here on Roll for Hero is an NPC in that game. That's recently made him on Hero Forge. What?
That's pretty cool.
Okay, that's actually fun. Love the fact that we were able to be part of the process of being in a dispatch one-shot. That is awesome.
Okay, alien looks 1d6. What am I going to get? I get 3. Oh my goodness! Combined 3 animals.
Okay. Well, I have an android, so I don't know if it is.
You can pick what you want to do. If you want to roll like a random animal or something to mix in there, or it could be an alien android for all you know.
Hold on, I got to do 1 animal. So I rolled a 1.
All right. Let's see. Random animal chart. I've got to roll 3 times. That's 3d6 for the random animals.
But I have to do 1. How do I not have enough dice for this?
11 is a shark.
Oh my god. And watch how you end up getting a lizard like I did, and you had to make another one. All right, everyone. Dragon Gaming got superhuman. Let's get to it. All right, that's going to be 10, 11, 12, 13, which is... okay. Okay. An android wasp?
Can't get that again.
Okay. All right, I'm going to utilize wasp elements for this. And since I only rolled, to roll 1 animal, I'm pretty much done here.
All right. I got a shark rabbit wasp.
What the? A shark, a rabbit, and a wasp.
Yep.
What a combo.
That's going to be fun. Okay. Now our power sets for our characters. We're going to roll 1d6 to see how many powers we've got.
All right.
Get out. Yield 1d6. Give it a roll.
Oh, look. That was a horrible one because I ended up using 2. All right. That's 5, which is 2 minor, 1 major.
I got 2 minor powers. Dragon Gaming got a superhuman. Good deal. So you can roll up your power set here and see how many powers you get.
All right, let me see. This is the power set. using characters of the ogre. Wait, hold on. Mr. E, you could try using the character of the ogre, the last 3 characters in the public domain X-Men, the tiger, that could be the grubs in the grubs world. That is not a bad idea. I actually love that concept. And not only that, I am actually like I'm in a good chunk of the within book 1 of the grub. I actually had to get some old pages that I was gonna scrap and then brought it back, added newer pages to kind of help enhance the fun overall plot of it all.
I was gonna scrap it.
I was gonna really, but then I was like, you know what? This fight with the kaiju that I had in the first issue was like way too short. I gotta just make it a little bit more fun. So at some point, we might see those characters either in the Grubs universe or in maybe some of the other characters, maybe in my, Kamen Rider one or in my Power Ranger one. Who knows? All right, let me see. Oh, these are minor powers, and I got 2 of those. So I got to roll those real quick. Benjamin, you getting me all distracted. All right. You got, oh, wait. Shoot, I didn't even roll that properly. Come on, man. Come on, me. All right, hold on. So it's going to be, ooh, perfect. So we got numero 10, which is 10, which is to jump.
I got that one too, which kind of fits with a rabbit.
I mean, for me, I have a wasp element to my design. So yes, jumping makes total sense. Let me do one more. The minor power here will be 5, 9, 11.
Illumination. That could be really cool with like light up patterns and like a wasp pattern.
Oh yeah,
that could be cool.
Android's like a full robot, right?
Yeah, just like designed to look more human. Like the Vision is an android, or the characters from Blade Runner are androids. Like they're designed to look human. Commander Data from Star Trek is an android. Major powers, if anybody got that, 3d6 for flight, super strength, force field, size change, shape change, body weapons, teleport, element, armor, ice powers, fire power, electricity, cosmic energy, earth power, intangibility, summon beast, or super speed.
All right, we got a total of 8, 9, 10. Another Evelyn. That is going to be ice powers.
Ooh, an ice wasp. Now that is interesting.
Okay.
A glowing ice wasp. That's neat. That's
like a bioluminescent, like ice formational, android, or one that can. Ooh, okay, but like an android that utilizes the cold void of space to their whim, utilizing it to create like ice constructs.
There you go. There you go. See, now you're getting creative with it. You're taking it to new, interesting places. That's what I like about it.
Man, imagine this dude teaming up with Jupiter Jack. Now that would be interesting. Getting to see Jupiter Jack, Meteor Mandy. That's another thing too. I had to, for me, because of Jupiter Jack and Meteor Mandy, like they kind of helped me keep up with the retro fun style for this, which is why I also love this so much.
Now we got the quirks just to see where we go with it.
Already. Please don't be a suspicious individual. That'll be great. Number 5. Power is destroying them.
I like that one. That's cool. Because I tried to think of some different things. Like, some of them are cooler, some of them maybe not so much. And you can take it or leave it. But I like the idea of like the more I use my power, the more it's damaging me. How far am I willing to go to save people? Like that was what was going on in my head. You can do whatever you want with it. I also liked eventually the powers will never turn off. That one I really liked. I kind of wanted that one because like that could get really interesting.
Yeah. And
like if you were say oh gosh, what's the kid's name that turns into Shazam?
Billy Batson.
Yeah, if you're Billy Batson and like every time you turn into Shazam, it gets harder and harder to turn back. And eventually you will never turn back and you will just be Shazam, who is a mystical being. And eventually, like you will just be a part of him like Dr. Fate and you will be no more. And then somebody else will become Shazam someday and be in control. Like the thought of like disappearing into this thing. Oh, that was fascinating. Oh, Dragon Gaming also got illumination and ice powers. But you didn't get jump. Jump.
All right. Anything else? So, oh god, that's like, again, these are always fun optional ones too. The quirk one is always an optional one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and you can take it or leave it, or pick one you like, or whatever you want to do. It's just to inspire creativity. That's all. Yeah. Android could have powers built into it, plus the character of Mr. E could be a member of the Cosmic Coalition, and the character of Mr. Fish Rolls could be on the Dark Matter Coalition. What? I mean, we're going for heroes this time around.
Yeah, probably more like fun side.
So we don't have to be necessarily straight-laced hero. Like that.
Yeah, they could always be like one of those, kind of like a Han Solo roguish kind of a hero, third party, doesn't really associate with either the one side or the other, but definitely wouldn't want to team up with the bad guy side for sure. So, okay. And that's most about it. All right. So now we're diving right in. So a wasp-based android.
Shark, rabbit, wasp.
Oh boy. Mine uses an ancient weapon. An ancient weapon. That could, it'd be really crazy if there was like
mine too.
Imagine if there was a planet that was the ancient weapon and you just haul it around you in the cosmos. That would be insane. All right. So we got to get a generalistic vibe here. Let me see. Something with wasp in it. All right. I mean, it's not. I know that they have the antenna. It's funny how I also got wasp because since I've been working on the grub, I've been having to draw like antenna hair, like using the character's hair as like the antennas. So it was a little bit on par for me drawing this little android out here.
The hero been rolled up is a superhuman with the major power of fire, but it's on a time limit. That's kind of cool. That's interesting. Like, if Johnny Storm could burst into flames, but then he's on a time limit and can only go so far, or the more he uses it, the more he's wearing it out, or like, that could be scary. Okay, that's one idea. I kind of. I like the idea of here. Maybe if I.
Okay, we're getting somewhere here. I'm getting the ideas. Well, Mr. Fish, you can use any of shark. You can use any time of shark for the alien. Any type of shark, because Benjamin here said time. I think he meant to say type. Kind of like how I used the hammerhead for that one shopkeep that I did. Maybe you could try utilizing kind of shark. Feel like mine is Frostmore from World of Warcraft. LOL, like the planet. I like the planet idea. No problem. You're welcome. I just thought that was crazy because it reminded me of the Green Lantern that is a planet. I just thought it would be funny to just do like a whole thing. Kyron says R4H. 5 exclamation points. How you doing there, Kyron?
Little Kyron Silver, what's up? A Four Tails podcast fame. And Taurus Comics. And Fourth Wall Comics, because he's like, what are you, editor-in-chief over there or something now? With Danny J. Quick. And I've heard tell I might be seeing him at 5-Star Comic-Con in Dayton, perhaps. And special guest 5-Star Comic-Con. That's my man right there. Looking forward to seeing old Kyron. Kicking him squarely in the pants. I think there's something about a cute bunny shark that would just be really fun. I'm gonna put that on the back burner for right now, and I'm gonna play around with another idea just so I'm not limiting myself. But I really like the idea of a cute little bunny shark.
Kyron says, I'm the editor-in-chief of the Fourth Wall Comics. That mostly just means I listen to Danny's ideas and tell him if it makes sense or not.
So you tell him it don't make sense. That's what I'm hearing. You tell him, Danny, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
That is actually the first time I heard that phrase.
Really?
Yes, actually.
I got that off the back window of a dude's truck I used to work with.
And then hold on a second before he goes away. Benjamin says, imagine if Mr. E's character was built by a former soldier turned. Oh, and I lost it. Because all the chats be hitting up pretty intensive over here. Got a very active chat. Can I go down?
Bunny shark. That's what I did a couple of weeks ago, says Dadpool. Kyron also lets him cry and complain when things don't work out. Also be cool to see the world of the Unbeatables and Green Zone fused. Oh,
that would be the day.
Let's see. What did Benjamin say a second ago?
All right, here he goes. Imagine Mr. E's character was built by a former soldier turned scientist of the Cosmic Coalition.
There we go.
Well, that's a pretty cool idea. Definitely had a thing for wasps then, or some variation of insects, because I'm still trying to play up to that bug idea.
Kind of like it, but it's not quite there.
I'm also in that weird position too. Trying to, for as many bug-themed heroes, there are some times where I just can't draw bug-themed things. Okay. Got that. Okay, so I kind of got something there with at least the wings to an extent. Would be cool if one of the arms was built like a wasp butt and stinger that shot the ice. Okay, see, now that's thinking. That's thinking. Because I clearly wasn't doing that. Because I was just going to give him the entire wasp butt portion of it, and low-key, I was what I was actually kind of thinking about? Low-key Waspinator, weirdly enough. Like, when I thought of that, I thought of the Waspinator from, like, freaking Beast Wars. That show definitely existed before I was born, but thankfully I was able to watch reruns on Netflix. So,
a lot of shows existed before you were born. I saw them.
You were there. Don't recite the ancient tomes, for I was there when they were written.
I was at least there when they were first in reruns.
I can only say that they were in reruns on Netflix before the chaos of the streaming wars.
I remember the days before the streaming wars. I remember the days when we begged for the opportunity to be able to get things separately. Oh, little did we know what we were asking for.
And I remember when Netflix actually used to give out CDs or like DVDs as like part of the rental thing. If like the movie wasn't on the streaming service, it was like you could get it as a DVD.
Oh yeah.
Man, imagine me as a kid. Like I was ecstatic. I was in shock that you were able to watch a full movie on the iPod. And I'm talking early day Mac, iPods too. Anyways, Mr. Fish character is the bunny from Monty Python Holy Grail. All right, and then Kyron says Mr. Fish was there when they all had were silent films. When all they had were silent films. That's what I was trying to say. Because I can English. I blame my fiance for that one. I blame her.
That was a good bird. I will allow it. Invisible Levin says backflips.
Backflip.
No context, just backflips. Oh, I forgot I got powers too. Oh, but it's jumping and cloaking. So jumping, that's why I've been focusing on the bunny leg so much, so that part kind of makes sense. I can put that there. Okay, this is weird, but I think I'm starting to head in a direction. That's what
It is a direction, but is it the one direction that you need to go through? Insert the oh.
I'm so bad trying to think of a New Kids on the Block pun to make off of that, and I couldn't think of one.
That's the only. I think that is like. Well, I mean, other than Backstreet Boys, I think. I was so sheltered from music.
Okay. So cloaking. Okay, now if I'm making a hero, all right, who is a terrifying looking shark rabbit wasp, whose only powers are super jump and cloaking, what am I doing to play hero? Okay, see, now I need to get into the head of the character to make a hero out of him. Hi, fiance!
Hi, fiance!
Fiance, the best part of the show is now officially here.
Hello.
Now I need to think of like how this character is going to work. What's his motivation? What is he doing to help me design him a little bit better?
This is true because obviously this is like, okay, well, let's also think about it too. Is this going to be a solo hero? Do you think this would be a fun side character that would help Jupiter, Jack, or Meteor Mandy on their adventures? Would they be helping a Cosmic Coalition individual? Kyron says, hi, fiance. Benjamin says, fiance is back. That she is indeed, everyone. That she is indeed. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Actually,
Because my first instinct is to just go like terrifying shark bug monster, but that doesn't really inspire hero. But then in a world full of aliens and whatnot, what's to say,
I mean, I like the idea of the bunny legs, and you could probably use the shark body, like use the shark body. The bunny legs and arms, I think, are a really good way to kind of bring in that cute factor of like, maybe they're a speedy little kind of a character or something like that. You could play with the wasp head to an extent.
Hi, fiance is like, Andy's coming. Everybody acts busy.
Kyron got me dying over here.
I'll flop over.
You know what? I might as well also have the opportunity.
I thought you were ready.
No, I showed Mr. Fishes. I didn't show the entire group this. So for those
y'all got to see this. This is awesome.
So for those that do, or for those that don't, Markiplier is making a movie called Iron Lung, and he actually made the Bucket STL files free to apprehend. So anyone who has a 3D printer can, make it for themselves. All right, fiance wants to show.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ta-da!
3D
That
printer,
is so gross.
painted,
And coated with resin.
food grade resin. In the off chance,
Yeah, food grade resin, just in case.
Just in case you eat off of it.
Yeah.
Little Kyron Silva says it's dope.
I even made little earrings. Wait, actually, hold on.
Show and tell from fiance.
I really like this body shape, but it doesn't really scream out hero to me. Oh, that's crazy. Those are neat. Good job. Fiance is really figuring out your Christmas present there.
Honestly, no, I even told her at this point, she just
More for for me than it is for him.
Honestly, I'm just like,
Oh,
I bought
trust
her
me,
a
I bought
$300
my wife a
Lego
cricket,
Dungeons
and I'm the
Dragons
only one that's
set.
ever used it.
No, it's like I bought her a Lego Dungeons and Dragons set. That's $300 as it was, and she basically bought herself the 3D printer. I just wanted it because I'm like, it'd be dope to have it. Good things.
I need to start sending fiance all the cool 3D printer videos I see instead of sending them to you.
I actually been kind of showing her some of the stuff that you've been sending me, so she's been getting them. She's been getting them. All right. Anyways, Jordan says, "What if you make the shark, rabbit, wasp hero like a metamorpho from DC? So like each segment."
I kind of like that idea too. That's a crazy idea, but I like that. That's something I haven't ever thought of doing before.
Something that I was actually going to mention too is like I feel like this kind of character, because we never really decided the sentience that it had, right? This I feel like would be like a creature that maybe the Cosmic Coalition has tried to utilize on planets that are still in their like barbaric phases or something like that. Maybe they didn't develop enough of like higher end technology, so to kind of partake in being in the world, they tried to claim themselves as something or other. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Nobody asked for. Anyways, Amy says, "Could you guys check out the things that I draw for you guys on your community?" For drill? Draw. I'm assuming draw. Sorry about that.
Yeah, give me 1 second here. I got it. I got everything pulled up that I found today. Let's see. There was this one from, I can't remember whose account this was. I would have saved it in the name. I don't remember whose account that was. I think it was Comics something. Comics Crusader or something. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. But I did find that one in there. That's one of Dadpool's, Scalian. Dadpool's, Dr. Dino from Dadpool. Some of Dadpool's early work is Bear Trap that he did. It came out epic. And then my version of Bear Trap, because I just got inspired and had to play around with the idea because I didn't have paying work to do or anything. Here's some Cyber Comics designs there. I believe we saw these ones last week, but still cool to look through.
Okay, I've kind of seen the one previous. I think I've seen some like some of the shorts from this particular creator. Really, really good stuff. Love the detail on that too.
And more Dadpool's right there. This is the one he came up with the other day that I never showed. Cog the Bounty Hunter, because it's part car, part dog. Because he got like cyborg, a robot animal has a cool car, so he made it into a transformer, which I thought was a cool idea. And then we got some of Ben Art stuff. Now there's a lot of Ben Art stuff here because he's been whipping out the drawings. Got the Christmas ones. A lot of these I managed to save the names for. It gets down into here. There was so many that I was looking through today from the past couple of weeks that I couldn't save all the names. So they're just numbered. All right. Emmett says that he sent them on the community. So if I refresh it, I should see them there. All right. Let me go there and check in a second. I'm going to go through all the bin arts here that I found today and added into the group. I love the colors on this one. I just absolutely love.
I actually really like the colors on that one too. That one's a really cool one. And again, that's where I see a lot. And that's where I also see a lot of the Pop Cross Studios like art style kind of really coming through.
Great eye for design. Great color choices.
And it's the fact that the one thing I also like too is the fact that you are doing those things traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you're really challenging yourself because once the colors are there, you can't do anything about it.
Dude,
unless you could. That one in particular, that one is a really fun one too. If I was to redraw, that would be a really cool one to do.
I like this one, like mid-transformation and stuff. That came out cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, hold on. Dragon Gaming says, here's my idea, calling them Cold Star. They get their powers from an ancient weapon made of ice from a celestial made from a celestial body called a cold star, which is the exact opposite of a normal star, which is true because stars are burning hot. How about Blizzard Bug as a name? That's a pretty fun one.
Channel
Blizzard Bug.
community.
Or okay, wait, I love that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, those weren't there a minute ago.
But what about, and again, I don't know if it could work, but Blizzard, you know, like Buzz, Blizzard, but yeah, I tried. Yeah, there's some detail there. That is insanity.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on Superman is gonna be
That's
really
really
Homelander and DCKO? Ooh.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Is it this
No, it's just my throat.
marker?
It's me recovering.
Yeah, because this Sharpie was. Oh,
Kind of figured as much. Okay. The mech armor guy is actually the son of the one of my characters that rolled up. Ooh, fun. Anywho, yeah, these are great designs, Kyron. Kyron, so you gotta get your artist friends to partake in being on Roll for Hero. You know, segment of the channel where we let the dice dictate what on God's green earth we're gonna be drawing for that session. And you know, you just grab them on in here. Because I said so, anyways. Alrighty then. All right, I'm really trying my best because now that we are under a Fish is the only artist friend. Come on, Kyron.
Kyron's a talented artist. He had people outbidding me for his stuff on Mog and Mel one week. So don't let Kyron lie to you. Kyron's a fibber from way back.
He is the fib from outer space. And if anyone actually got that reference, thank you.
All right. Yeah, I checked the community it was a couple hours ago, but it hadn't shown up yet. But thank you for asking me to refresh that so I could see him. Thank you very much. All right.
All right. Just really got to start honing in just because we got such limited time. All right. You know, this actually reminds me of a live I did a while back on one of my. Kyron, you got it. He got the reference.
I don't know the reference though. Oh, I haven't seen VeggieTales in so long.
I have pastors for parents. Pokemon wasn't allowed. VeggieTales was in. I'm not even lying when I say this. This would be one of the funniest clips ever. Because I see you always mention me in a bunch of clips. This is the funniest one. Literally, the reason why I began my journey into being an artist was because of a CGI cucumber with plungers for ears. Just putting that out there. Larry the Cucumber is the reason why I am an artist. Bible Man was my secondary superhero character, and then it was the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and then it was Adam West's Batman with that movie that he ended up making or whatever, something like that. That's basically what it is. So glad Kyron got that reference.
Did you ever watch what was it, Bible Man growing up?
Yes. I went to a live show as a kid.
Because I know my kids saw some of it, and I knew y'all are roughly around the same age. So I didn't know.
Oh yeah. I grew up watching Bible Man. Again, when you have pastors' parents, they try to make sure that you watch some good content and whatnot. So of course it was also direct video. So it's not like these things came out in the theaters or anything like that. So these things are made on really, really thin budgets. Anyways, my childhood nostalgia aside, Dragon Gaming says, how about Burrs for Uncle E's character is the onomatopoeia for being cold. Burrs. Okay, that's a pretty good one. Mm-hmm. I like that. That's pretty cool. And then Benjamin says Mr. E's character should be called BL1224RD W45P, as in
Blizzard Wasp.
Oh.
So it's like it plays on the shade. I see where you're coming from, Benji. I see
where you're coming from. I smell what you're stepping in.
Yeah, I was literally about to say the same thing. And then Dragon Gamer says, love the VeggieTales. Same here. Actually, I even remember it. I made a whole style guide. I literally one day I just decided to sit down. I drew an entire style guide as to like doing 2D like VeggieTale kind of characters. And I actually use that as like a reference sheet whenever I made my own like little renditions of said characters. So like, yes, obviously it's basic shapes, but then it's the eyes and the nose. Those are where it's really at. And then rarely would you ever see them with, their own like, fake hair, because usually they try to play with the actual vegetable element of it. Mm-hmm. But that's just, again, me going all over the place. Rodrigo asks, what is your thoughts on Superman is going to fight Homelander in the upcoming DC KO event, which is confirmed by DC? Honestly, I know Superman's going to whoop Homelander's butt, and it's not because I'm a hardcore Superman fan. Just statistically, Homelander just deserves to have his teeth kicked in by every metric. What if the superhero from VeggieTales was turned into a human? That would look... Where did I put that? Where is it? Don't think I don't know, because I know.
It basically sounds like the Hanna-Barbera heroes to me. Like Blue Falcon is like Larry Boy as a guy.
Yep, because I have that here somewhere. I need to figure out where that is. Where are you? I'm going to go insane if I don't find this. Where are you? Because I have so many things here. So many things. Where are you at?
You got dang near as many characters drawn on there as old Ben does.
You probably are. Yeah, you are right. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I take that back.
He got
Rick,
a lot.
Hey there, boys. How you doing there, Rick Moody?
Rick Moody, how's it going, man? I hope you're feeling good today.
Where are you at? He's here somewhere. Well, that's my rendition of the Scarab or Blue Beetle. I know I have it here somewhere. I'm not. I mean, I am crazy, but that's a different story for a different day. Is it here? Is it there? It's a little bit everywhere. We'll never know. I know I have it here somewhere. I actually drew that out one day. I'm even showing my little brother because he was like, "What if you actually drew like Larry Boy if he was like Robin?" And I was like, Don't give me dumb ideas. And then he gave me the dumb idea. Don't give me dumb ideas. And then I did the dumb idea. Where are you at? Is it in fan art? I feel like it would be in fan art. Yeah, here it is. Found it. This is my rendition if Larry Boy was to be a human.
It looks like almost like Super Sentai Larry Boy.
Honestly, that's actually even better.
The collar and the gloves and everything, like I could totally see him. Yeah, when he talks.
Oh my god! It was because then also, so the main inspiration for the design for this was supposed to be the Young Justice like Robin design. That was god! I finally got to display that art piece. Never thought I would ever show that. That human Larry Boy thing. Oh. That is because it has been so long. All right, back to this Wasp Android and the fact that we don't have that much time, or at least,
Oh, we got till the hour at least. I could use some time to stretch and move around and get something else in my stomach before then. Tonight usually would be the night we go out for a steak, but we're not doing that because we're frozen in. And I'm going to be super tired from streaming all day. But today, for those in the know, is my 27th anniversary of my sobriety date. 27 years of being sober.
Nice.
Hallelujah.
Quite the accomplishment.
that is really nothing to scoff at. I can, that is
especially when you was as good at drinking as I was. Could have gone pro, they told me. But nearly died.
You said, nah, I have comics to draw. I have bills to pay. Thank you very much.
There's plenty of drunk comics out there. How many sober comics are there? I wanted to stand out.
This is true. You know, a comment that I thought you would have made while you were drunk was Alice Lost in Wonderland issues 1, 2, and 3 that you can get at GoMrFish.com. But you know what? Turns out he was mentally sane this entire time.
Well, I don't know. That comic goes back 30 years, so technically, I was still a bit of an addict at the time. But thank you, Deadpool. I appreciate it. Let's see.
Which is the first version.
Would be interesting if Mr. Fish's alien character had lost his arm due to the Cosmic Coalition mission, so the Cosmic Coalition built them a new arm. There's an idea. Here's one fact about the Shadow, which the first version of the Shadow is public domain, while the well-known version will be public domain next year since that version was renewed. Happy anniversary, says Rodrigo. Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you. And because you guys did that for me and show my drawings, I wanted to make you more right now on your community. Well, thank you. Proud of you, Mr. Fish. Thank you. I appreciate it. Congratulations. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I mean, it feels weird taking congratulations for something that you didn't do, but I didn't do it for a long time. So that counts for something.
That it does. Because, I mean, I've heard many stories. Hello, that is...
Oh, that is me.
Ah, yes. In the name of Jesus, please.
There is... it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard a lot of stories of... I mean, my dad did a lot of counseling for a lot of families. He's a pastor, so, I mean, I mentioned that a lot. But he's done a lot of couples counseling, and unfortunately, alcohol, drug use is always one of the main factoring it's one of the unfortunate main factors in a lot of like relationships that are crumbling.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad had like zero toleration. As it is, he's Puerto Rican, so he's already like zero toleration for many nonsensical things and whatnot. And my dad always states, like, if I smell it on you, you're sleeping in your car, don't even bother coming back to the house. Like, my dad has zero toleration for that. So I mean, for good reason, because it also killed his dad, you know, and he doesn't want that to kind of happen again. Ever, actually, for that matter. So,
yeah, I can't really blame him. It's destructive. And once you've been around it and you've suffered on the other end of it, it can make you super, super hypervigilant about it. Which doesn't always necessarily mean you're going to stay away from it. Like, I mean, I've seen people that would burn down multiple relationships over somebody doing drugs because their parent was an addict, only for them to go on and, you know, get strung out on crack. So, I mean, good on you, Dad, for being able to, like, you know, stay clear of some of those negative traits that so easily get passed down, man. But I always say, like, a lot of us go through a lot of heavy stuff, and sometimes going through trauma, you know, breaks you in such a way that it makes you dangerous to those around you, like breaking a glass bottle. It could shatter into nothing and just be completely broken, like some people are after trauma. It could get shattered and turn into a weapon that, you know, hurts everybody around them. Every once in a while, some of us break in such a way that it makes us very kind and making sure that nobody else has to go through what we went through. It's not necessarily the most common reaction, but it is one that happens. Part of the reason I'm such a nice guy now.
And I know that, not to make this portion a joke, I guess if this was to be a proper PSA, don't do drugs. Not good for your health. You know, if you're going to drink in moderation, or don't drink at all. You don't want to mess up your life, especially if you're a creative, you know. There's the already unfortunate stereotype of artists ruining their lives to ensure that their art is to be perfect.
It's so easy to fall into the trope of thinking that this thing, you know, whether it's drugs or alcohol or whatever, is what's making me creative. And it is absolutely not the thing that's making you creative. You might have trained yourself to think that's the only time I can be creative, or get all up in your head and get afraid that you can't do it any other time. But that creativity is coming from inside you. Now, it might be a little stupider when you're buzzed, but I came up with some ideas that, man, I just thought were so brilliant. Now I look back at those ideas and it's like, yeah, I was high. No question there.
All right. Kind of getting somewhere with it. It's something that I will admit. Cosmic Coalition member responsible for the Android Wasp character mystery. Maybe the way that I'm thinking about it, this could actually be an android that was collected by the Cosmic Coalition because of an insectoid alien race that tried to create an android, and this one just happened to have ice adjacent abilities, maybe because of some other human-based engineering, or maybe a super scientist from this futuristic Earth managed to take this, alien adjacent, this bug-like wasp, android, and kind of put his own twist onto it. These are some, there's something here. There is always something here.
That's not a bad idea.
How about ice minus CT, which is supposed to be ice plus insect? There's isect, but that sounds wrong by like every metric. I did like the one that Benjamin put out there where it's like, Blizzard Wasp, but like it's all spelled in numbers, and I like that one. I like that one. Blizzard Wasp, but like spelled like if it was like an R2D2 thing.
Yeah, that's why I did Mr. Big that way. It's like MRB1G for like Milner Robotics Bear first generation. Because I had to make it make sense. So I had to think it out way too far. Because, what else am I going to do? Okay, you know what? This dude needs some kind of clothes. So,
I mean, I'm kind of giving him the Jupiter Jack treatment on my end over here, just giving him the Cosmic Coalition uniform, I guess. So, I mean, we got, that kind of reminds me of a little bit? Street Sharks. Kind of giving it the Street Shark edge there.
It does kind of have that vibe. But then, I mean, you put I forget. My quick keys aren't set up the same way on this tablet as they are in the other room. So I'm holding down what should be the shift key on my other computer, and it's the select color gamut tool over here.
I know there's some comic creator out there there's some indie comic production creating a book called like Shark Force.
And yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, that's something interesting that I would really want to pick
Oh yeah, totally like a Street Sharks homage. Yeah. It's really cool looking.
Definitely want to create something similar to like, I would love to want to do like I feel like that's what we do here on the show anyways, but I want to create like a fun toyetic like idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I have no doubt that we've done it here before, but to create like a kind of like a Ninja Turtles or a Street Sharks or, what's it called? The Space Bikers Mice from Mars.
Oh yeah, the Biker Mice from Mars, which are all knockoffs of the Ninja Turtles. But but that's the thing that I like about it is they're all just blatant knockoffs, but now they're looked at with fondness as their own thing from the kids that grew up with them that love them just as much as like say I loved He-Man, and I think that's cool that they could go on to have their own fan base and their own history outside of just being a knockoff, because so many times knockoffs don't get that kind of respect. Like they don't get the chance to go on to become anything bigger than just a knockoff.
Which, I mean, you should totally then give my comic book The Grub a chance the day that I start having that properly printed out, which is supposed to be a knockoff of Spider-Man. But again, kind of like in the vein of Street Sharks, just took it to a very different direction. And that's that was my intention, because yeah, I did create like a public domain Spider-Man, but I didn't want to really play with the concept of the Spider-Man thing like that close, because again, I don't want to be sued by, you know, the big red company. So that's why I decided to go with Grub. And by the way, for those that do or don't know, I actually designed the Grub's suit like in 2019. It was before I ever came up with the logo for it, but I remember calling that character Buggy at first. And then after that, didn't really know where to kind of go with it. So, you know, I just kind of left it there dormant for a while. And then it turns out I took that Buggy concept, made that character into Honeybee now, and then it was a whole thing. But now I decided to kind of take that old suit concept and then turn it into the Grub. So I'm excited to tell some fun stories. Like I have a, what's it called? Like my knockoff Fantastic Four team ready to go. And at some point I'm going to be introducing that. And also the Ogre, which is actually basically just an original like knockoff of the Hulk. And then a few of the other ones that I have done beforehand, like those I can't wait to really dive into. But primarily I'm just going to stick with just doing like maybe 4 issues of the Grub, just so that I don't, you know, just so I can start diversifying a little bit. My goal is to create at least 12 books. So I'm trying to do like maybe 4 books per one character. And hopefully it'll teach me to like, you know, hopefully this experience for this year is to really get me out of my comfort zone, really just start making messy pages and whatnot, because I'm trying to beat the perfectionist out of me.
That is a hard thing to do sometimes.
Because realistically, when you read a comic book, you're only looking at that thing for at minimum, maybe like a minute. Because if you're trying to like read the actual wordings and then play along with the images to an extent, you're not really looking at that, you know, that page for a very, very long time. And that's something
that's one thing by little Kyron Silva, like Saw the Lightning Wielder was one of the first books I think that I backed on Kickstarter. And one of the things that really impressed me about it was the artist that he was using in the first issue walked the line really well between like making the backgrounds clear and understandable, but not wasting a whole lot of time on things that honestly people aren't going to spend a whole lot of time looking at. And the buildings were like really simply done, but you know, they read as clear buildings. You knew what was what and where it was. And it really stood out to me that I was overthinking a lot of stuff and making it way harder than it had to be, you know, trying to draw every brick in the building and, you know, trying to draw unique architecture every single time. And it gave me the freedom to relax a little bit and not take things quite as seriously as I had been taking them, like on backgrounds particularly, to the point that it was stopping me from getting anything done because it was taking me so long to get anything done. And that kind of gave me the freedom because I enjoyed that book so much and I thought it looked really good, and it didn't take that stuff as seriously as I was taking it. And it just gave me that freedom that, you know what, the book can be good and not have every single brick drawn in it with all kinds of little, you know, greebly nonsense scribbled into it. And every inch of the page doesn't have to be covered in cross hatching and blah, blah, blah. And I've always been super appreciative for that because that gave me a lot of peace with myself that I could get this done and I could make it look good without killing myself doing it.
Yeah, and that's basically what I'm trying to teach myself how to do, because I've always had that perfectionist mindset, and that's partially the reason why I was always so scared for the unbeatables so often. So instead of like, I wanted to kind of give myself like at least just to have fun with it, just to really just not give it that intensive level of like my goal is that I want to try to create a book within a month, and I don't care how the pages look in terms of it like being, look, if it's readable, if you can see what the characters are doing, if you can see how they're emoting, then you kind of got the point across. You kind of got what you need to. You got what you need to get done.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
that,
you'll get so much more experience with storytelling and page layout and stuff if you're not just super nitpicking over every expression and every little hand on every page. I mean, you want to do good work and you want it to be clear and whatnot, but there's a lot to be said for just getting it done and having something out there rather than being the guy that had a whole lot of ideas but never did any of them. And far too many people end up being that guy. And I was that guy forever. I was that guy that was focused on all the potential I had, but I didn't have anything to my name that I could show anybody that said I could actually finish the thing. And, you know, it wasn't until I actually started just doing it and knocking them out that I got there. And now I've got like 120 something books. I need to do a recount.
You have so many books that you actually have to recount. That's when you know you have a relatively successful like line of like creating something like that. Is that you have to go back and recount just to reassure yourself that you are.
Like I'm not 100% sure if I'm on 121 or 123. I don't know. I need to go back and recount. I keep a running total in a note on my phone, and I update it every so often. Usually after one of my Kickstarters, I will go through and like tally up all the money the Kickstarters I've worked on have made and add all those books to my tally and everything. So I make sure to go back and check it every few months, but I haven't done that in a while.
All right, hold on a second. We got a few of these awesome comments here. We got Benjamin saying, imagine if there was a variant of the grub in the green zone, a variant of Jupiter Jack's, a variant in Jupiter Jack's world, and a variant in the Birds of a Feather world, and a variant in Oak Fang's world. So basically, like, imagine if the grub existed in all those other universes that we created. I mean, obviously in your universe, my universe, and then of course, like the ones that we developed here on Roll for Hero. That would be interesting to really see. And then we have.
Oh man, that would be. Speaking of really cool ideas, freaking me and Dadpool were talking the other day and came up with a really cool story idea. It was really good. I wanted to message you about it, but I knew if I did, I'd be stuck talking to you for hours about it because I get so excited that, and I wasn't feeling the greatest because I gave myself a concussion. So I didn't do that. But it's a cool idea. I'll have to tell you about it later on.
And then we got Dragon Gamer saying, "What if the android wants to use cold fusion to create his ice, but weakens the metal body?" Okay, I see.
Oh, that would see now. That's an interesting way to do the monkey spa of it. Like, you know, the more he uses his ice powers to the extreme, the more he's wearing out his metal body with the stress of that. That's a cool idea.
That is actually a really interesting part that I think we could dive into. Honestly, I'm not really sure how I'm vibing with it, but it's something better than nothing. Just trying to go with the flow, trying to see where this goes. Because I was really trying to play with that Wasp element, and I kind of feel like I just made a really weird rendition of Waspinator.
Waspinator?
It's a Transformer character from the 90s.
Waspinator terrorize!
As opposed to all the really cool versions of Waspinator.
Was there any other cool rendition of Waspinator? I don't even know. The voice was just like, it was iconic, but like the weird kind of iconic. Not like Optimus Prime, but it was definitely not Starscream either. So it was like in that weird middle ground. That really hits deep for me, Mr. Fish. Imagine if there was a variant of Jupiter Jack in the green zone, Birds of Feather, same situation, kind of like how he was describing what if like the grub was in those situations. Imagine if Jupiter Jack, Meteor Mandy were in basically all the other universes that we developed so far. But then the android would need the body to repair a lot. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see like, it would be fun to draw like a mechanic, probably like design, some like average mechanic character who would always have to do work on this particular android. trying to work out that one kink that'll make this like the most efficient ice wielding super powered android.
To make it quit tearing him up in the process. Oh, see, that would be a whole cool like variation to it. Like, you know, having to your guy in the chair is the one that like has to repair you and rebuild you every time you damage yourself in a fight. And oh man, just imagine coming like completely beat up, but it's not your suit or your mech. It's like your body that's being destroyed every time you do this. And you know, if you use your like super blizzard blast, you're probably going to blow the end of your arm off. But you know, oh, that would be so cool. Kate Stringer 2.0 says, are you doing your own version of Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, or Pat Dugan?
I remembered as a kid, I made my own rendition of Pokemon, even though I wasn't allowed. It was a whole thing, but it wasn't until I was like 10, 11-ish or so. I tried making my own like Pokemon concept, and I called it Mutomon. It was like mutation monsters or something like that. So you would take like monsters, and then you would basically like have them already more mutated as it was. It wasn't a really clear concept.
Mutomon, mutated monsters, Mutomon are the champions.
See, there we go. Franchise right there. Dragon Ball Z. I did. Here's a fun fact. I don't think if I mentioned it on the show, then great. But if I haven't, I think this might be the first time. I could be wrong. But for the fiance's birthday, I believe it was your 18th birthday, or no? Or was it your?
I don't remember.
I remember I gave you an entire box of like Stitch memorabilia, and then issue number 1 of Tough Love.
Were we still in school?
No.
I was still in school. You weren't. So if it was my senior year, then yeah, 18.
That's so yeah, it had to be your 18.
Yeah.
It is documented somewhere. I literally made a full-blown comic book, and I called it Tough Love, and it was literally a battle between me and her to see who loved each other the most. It was. I don't even know where it is.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
I know where it is. Because I still got it.
Of course she does. Fiance knows all. It only tells you about half of it.
Like also keep his AI in storage on a powerful computer to place in whenever the android body needs to get rebuilt. But then this leads to the question, does then the mechanic just need to create a newer body in order for that to happen? Yeah, there it is. Tough Love number 1.
There you go.
I basically used a lot of like DBZ inspiration. My God, it's still in the friggin' packaging that I gave it to you.
And on the packaging, it still says "Happy Birthday, BB."
Oh my Lord, it feels like I'm holding on to an ancient relic here. Oh yeah.
Be sure you get your white gloves out.
I know, right? Full blown comic pages. Crazy part, also made with a 4-color pen. Got the whole dialogue and everything. Look at that.
And that's drawn at size too, isn't it?
Pretty much. I literally drew on this exact paper.
That's
crazy.
Look
at that, even doing my own command. Oh, that's pretty cool. Man.
Yeah, I remember when back before I realized I could shrink stuff down and make it look so much cooler. And I drew so many little really cruddy comics on paper like that in like middle school and stuff. Everybody had their backs turned. Everybody had their hands in their pockets and like hoods pulled up and stuff because I didn't want to draw heads and faces and hands.
As one creator does. I mean, Lord knows I've probably done that millions of times.
Yeah, that's the number one thing I always push new young creators to do is do the hard thing. Do the thing you're avoiding doing and like draw those hands or the head or put that background in 3-point perspective. Quit using the excuses not to. You're working harder avoiding it than you would do just doing it. Just do it, and then you'll learn to draw it, and it won't be scary anymore.
Great. Oh, I can so work with these colors.
honestly, you should do an updated version of that comic for, if you don't do that, for our wedding, I'm gonna hurt you.
But it's only in a couple of, not a couple of days, but it is close.
Let's see, 58 days to be exact. 58 days till I do.
Dum dum dum.
Philip Walter says, hello there, Esteban and Mr. Fish. Sorry for being late to this live stream event. Anyways, I just wanted to say that these designs you're creating are freaking amazing. Thank you, Philip Walters. Glad you're able to partake in being in this amazing show. Benjamin goes, well, the engineer for the android would probably need to use tech from the planet that deals with the cold. I mean, true, but then this would actually give leeway to probably having to work with Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus from our sci-fi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be interesting. And like, do they have a good working relationship, or do you have to use like the underground elf railroad to get stuff out? Because Mrs. Claus has a bounty on the engineer's head or something for some reason.
It's like, he was supposed to be on the naughty list, but he ended up saving a quadrant of the galaxy. I was really hoping to give him code that day. All right. All right. We're here. All right. Why are we not doing this? There we go. I'm actually, oh, thank God I rolled these.
Dragon Gaming says both your characters look awesome. Cade Stringer 2.0 says the Tough Love comic looks good.
And it was not only that, I think out of all the times I've ever made a comic, I think that was the comic I worked my butt off for. Mm-hmm. I think
as well you should.
As I should have. As I should have.
Phone it in on.
But I think that book I made in the span of like,
I think a week.
Not even.
Like a couple days?
I think out of exaggeration, but maybe legitimacy, 2 days.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, the whole thing was done in 2 days. That was the fastest comic I've ever like worked on ever. And again, printer paper, 4-color pen, hopes and dreams. Mm-hmm. So if I can do it, you can too.
I'm not going to say how much work I've gotten done in 2 days because that would be stealing your thunder, and that's not what I'm about.
Listen, I think I relatively stole some thunder when talking about the cold environments and how I have it a little bit better in comparison to you. So, I mean.
Oh, man. Yeah, I kind of low-key hate you a little bit right now for having nice weather while I'm still iced in the house.
See, we actually have nice weather.
But I want to see snow.
Yeah, we don't even have snow. We got a big pile of white ice about like that.
Oh.
Like,
oh.
My 400-plus pound self stood up on this pile of snow, and it didn't go. I didn't leave footprints. I just stood on top of it because it is some beefy ice.
At least I got to see snow fall when we went to Ohio.
That is true.
But I didn't get to play in snow. Cries in Floridian.
Places that it snows. I did talk with the promoter at the con in Michigan, and you are 100% in. And he's excited. He's a little surprised that you're going to make the trip, but he's excited to do a Roll for Hero panel for the kids. And that's
how can I not? It's going to be literally my first like convention live event, and where I get to sound super chaotic and just all over the place.
When is it again?
When is that?
It is. My phone is my camera. I believe it's towards the end of March. I'll have to send it to you. I told you before when it was, and you said it was good, but you know.
I like to believe it was because I mean we got married on March 27th, which is literally the end of.
Oh, hold on a second. I can get elsewhere.
And then we have our honeymoon immediately after, and we're going to be gone for a week.
Let me see. I'm bad with dates, so let me see what it is real quick. And let's see. I know I can get to it somewhere. Where is it? Calendar.
I feel like I'm going to be attacked at some point. Love you too, honey bun.
Okay. No, I don't need that. Okay. Yes, it is my sobriety day. Good for me. Where is my stuff? Okay. No, that's not it. It's a Sunday.
Honey, are you being a nuisance to me right now?
Yes. I'm allowed to be in this.
Okay, I was wrong. It's April 26th.
Oh, thank
Thank
God.
It's Mid-South Con is in March.
Okay. Gave me a heart attack there because I'm like, crap! I'm getting married!
I knew we had talked about it and you said the date was good.
Oh, yeah, no, it was totally peachy keen since it was that date.
I apologize. I hope you forgive me, fiance. I'm sorry for scaring you.
No worries. No worries.
You kidding me? How could she hate you? She would have to attack me in your place.
Exactly.
You would be the one absorbing all the hate.
I'm like a tank in an RPG. I'm taking all the damage for everyone.
Yeah. Uncle E's character, feeling the sting of ice. I know these designs are linked to Jupiter, Jake, and Meteor Mandy, but they give me a Masters of the Universe vibe. Damn right they do, fella.
I actually like that. I mean, I don't know about mine, but Mr. Fish is 100%.
Oh yeah, I'm totally like channeling Masters of the Universe as I'm working on this. That's why I gave him the chest piece, because I realized he was naked and he needed some clothes. So I was like, I'm gonna give him a breastplate and make him, look Masters of the Universe-ish.
You see, I really gotta actually. Well, I don't know how. I remember I tried watching He-Man, and I know that you said that you were trying to rewatch it as well, but you ended up.
Oh yeah, no, that's not worth it. The original one is not worth it. It is, unless you were a child in the 80s, it is not worth watching.
It's a don't even bother, you're gonna die of cringe type situation.
It is so bad. I mean, and partly like the rules were getting stricter and stricter, and they had to have, morals and all this stuff to it to not just have it be violence. The stuff that the Cartoon Network shows you grew up on didn't have to have, and
thank God.
It's the kind of stuff that killed Saturday morning cartoons, because it made it so unfun that it was so hard to write around, and kids didn't want to watch it, and it just killed it. But it was fun at the time. I loved it, but yeah, it's hard to watch now.
I can only imagine.
And it wasn't written to, like, it was written to talk down to kids a lot of the time. It wasn't written with the idea that you could, like, treat kids with respect and make something cool and just let them enjoy it. Well, you can't be a cartoon unless you've got some kind of idiotic comic relief. And, oh God, I hate the comic relief so much.
Oh God. I mean, I think our fair share of cartoons also still had their comedic characters, but I think they're rather.
Oh yeah, it's become a trope and it's still there, but I will gladly die on the hill of hating Orko. I know some people love him. You can be wrong. That's fine. Orko is ridiculous. And though I will say one of the newer versions where he's a robot, I kind of liked. They actually made me like Orko for once.
To the ill knowledge and to those who are not fortunate enough to know such a character, who was that again?
Orko? Oh, he was the goofy, stupid-looking little floating wizard guy in the red cloak and the red hat. He was a Jawa, a floating Jawa is what he was.
Not a floating Jawa.
Yeah, I mean it's 100%. They ripped off the Jawas and gave him a pointy hat and magic that doesn't work.
As a cartoon of the 80s does.
But they're going to have the audacity later on to make it canon where he's actually a really great wizard, but because he's in another dimension, he's not in his home dimension. All of his magic he spent his life learning how to do comes out wrong over here, and now he's a court jester instead of being the greatest wizard in the world where he was from. And to me, that's just even more insulting to give him some depth to his character and still have him be such an idiotic character. Drives me nuts. But I'm hardcore anti-Orko. Dragon Gaming says, too bad, Mr. Fish. I'm currently watching the complete collection of the 80s He-Man cartoon show. I'm sorry. Deadpool says he looks like a black mage from the Final Fantasy games. I could see that.
Yeah, I could see how he could be related to that.
Yeah, but they came out later, and like he's straight up a ripoff of the Jawas. Speaking of Masters of the Universe, have either one of you watched the teaser trailer for the new movie?
Yes.
I'm over 40 years old. Are you crazy? Of course I've watched that as soon as it came out. The minute it came out, I watched it. And I loved it. I got my issues with the Castle Grayskull, I will admit. Now, anybody who's watched the show knows I built my own Castle Grayskull dice tower. I have a love of Castle Grayskull. And I am open to interpretation because Castle Grayskull has been represented in a million different ways in all the different interpretations of the show and all the different paintings and stuff before it became a show and the different comics. It always looks a little bit different. In the newer comic sense, it always looks a little different. All the cartoons have a little bit different take on it, but it always still has the same kind of vibe to it. And this castle doesn't have the same vibe. This looks like a historically accurate castle with an anatomically correct skull put on it. And it's not even green, which Gray Skull being a green castle didn't have to make sense back in the 80s. I get it. I could overlook the color, but like it's always been kind of a mutated skull that looks almost ape-like, with a really like extended brow and really big jaw sticking out and the fangs that come all the way down to the jaw bridge. And this one just doesn't have this. This looks like a perfectly human. It looks like a scan of a human skull. And to me, you miss the mark on that. And instead of having the big crown thing on top of its head, it's got this little bitty tiara going across. And it loses some of the oomph. The castle's all neat and clean. The one thing that I do like that they changed is there's all these weird little alcoves carved into the front of the castle that give it this almost, porous sponge-like texture, which is really a beautiful idea, especially with the thought of like light coming out of there would look really cool. If the rest of the castle wasn't so strict and stiff looking. But also Castle Grayskull always kind of looks like it was cobbled together, and has that creepy vibe to it and looks like it could go evil as easily as it could go good, which was the original intention behind the story, that whoever got control of the castle would be able to take over the world and have the power. So if Skeletor won, then he'd have the power. And if, He-Man won, he'd have the power. And they changed that all with the Filmation cartoon, but still, the original He-Man in the mini comics is my favorite storyline.
I guess
that's the one that spurred my imagination before the cartoons got started. But I'll digress because close enough is good enough for me. This is way better than the Dolph Lundgren movie.
Oh yeah.
If you take on its own accord and you don't make it a He-Man movie, is a really good movie. When you're trying to make a He-Man movie out of it, not so much. But on its own, it's a really fun, like Flash Gordon space movie.
We love a nice Flash Gordon space movie.
I do. All
right, and that, I
feel like it needs some more color or something, but I like it.
I don't know where to really take this. This is it's a direction, I will say.
Oh. I see something I should do.
Because I'm trying my best to incorporate a lot of those design elements to it, but I'm like, it's there. I feel like I missed the mark on this. Again, I'm really trying to compensate for. I'm really trying to like hold off for time because you got your thing coming up in the next, like probably what, like now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get going.
Yeah. So
I
I don't
forget
want
about that. I get to talk about He-Man. Next thing you know, I forget about the time of day and that there's another show I got to be on here in a little bit.
which you guys should totally go check out. You know, what is it that you guys talk about over there on that?
All kinds of stuff, pop culture stuff. Today we're going to be talking a lot about all the movie trailers and stuff that have come out recently, and we're going to be looking at the He-Man trailer and stuff like that.
So look at that. You still get to talk about He-Man. Look at you getting
Oh yeah,
getting all up in your nerd space there.
we're always talking about the pop cultures and whatnot, and we're gonna, since we've reformatted the show to include more of this stuff from the 5-Star Comic Con, we're also going to be having a lot of the guests and stuff from the con on, for everything from like artists and stuff like Kyron Silva, that is an invited guest at 5-Star Comic Con, to Power Rangers and voice actors, and like the guy that voiced Barney and stuff like that. Are so far all of the invited guests to the con have agreed to come on the podcast ahead of time and talk about pop culture and what all's going on and talk about their careers and stuff. So it's really given an opportunity to spread the con throughout the year. And I'm really excited about giving the opportunity to people like vendors and Artist Alley guys that come sign up to get the chance to be able to come on the podcast ahead of time and after the con and talk about their books and their stuff that they sell and promote themselves, along with getting to be on the same show that's going to have, Power Rangers and all these guys coming on and talking too. So, hopefully it'll help the con be a blessing to the people that come, promote themselves at the con throughout the year, and give them opportunities to come talk on panels about what it's like working in comics, or what it's like self-publishing, or what it's like being a voice actor, or what have you.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Now, there's a lot of other comments here, so I want to kind of get to these before we kind of end things off, or at least because I think I'm more or less done with my design at the moment. I feel like I could have done better with it, but that's probably another time, or probably a different time for a different day. But we got from Benjamin, Mr. E, could you update your characters that you made in the early days of your channel, like Rocket Fist, Serial Man, Unicorn Girl, Florida Man, Hurricane Milton, and so on? Rocket Fist, in my opinion, I think has reached his perfect design, because I designed him first through Hero Forge, and then I took my design that I drew, gave it to Mr. Fish, and then he did his little 5-second doodle of it, and then I kind of merged his design and mine, and that's why I love the character so much. So I think he's going to be fine. Unicorn Girl, I kind of did an update to that design, but she's now a unicorn-themed luchadora, so that's going to be a ton of fun. Serial Man, I think he'll be more of a gag character than anything else. Milton is actually a D&D character I play, so that's a whole different thing. But yeah, maybe. Who knows? Also find Mr. E's character is wearing a variation of Jupiter Jacksuit. Yes, because when I think when I was saying that he wore a Cosmic Coalition outfit, I feel like this is what they probably would have. But again, I kind of chose the random colors and kind of came up with this. Again, I tried. It's a design, I will admit. I feel like I could have done better. And then we have, would be funny if there was a penguin/goose, or penguin, goose, roadrunner, or a peacock member of the Birds of a Feather. We can always design more of those. Again, we're going to have to sit down and at some point talk about the lists of worlds that we're going to have to roll up for season 3, because we don't know what we're doing for next season. We never know, because again, the whole point is just to roll and to have fun. But I'm not against those. I would actually want to do full-blown videos just designing those characters separately. But, to do it on Roll for Hero would be an awesome time. Give it more pops of golden yellow, Mr. Fish.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think he definitely needs that. I need to put some more pieces of armor or something on him somewhere to give him a little more cohesion. I think.
Yeah, I also, if anything, if there's only one reason why I would watch the classic '80s cartoon is just so I can learn how to design the way that you design characters, because that's like the one thing I'm very envious of you about, because you design characters in such like that classic '80s style where it's like that could literally be an action figure. I need that. So I just got to get to that point because I've always become so close to being anatomical and whatnot. Anyways, I may have missed this detail. This robot wasp, full body or robot with an organic brain? I'm going to say that's just fully robot because that's what usually androids are.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say the voice of Barney, says Deadpool?
Yeah, I was trying to find the post and I was going to share it, but my browser locked up on me because I don't want to get his name wrong because I stink at names. I literally would not remember my own name if it wasn't 4 letters long. So I'm trying to find it, but I'm probably not going to find it in time because my browser is not working. I think I got my computer taxed to the limit here with everything going on.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
Vendor says, well, there is a YouTube artist called Kingpin Creations who does a series called Voice Actor Fusions. I've seen some of his videos. I know which one you're talking about. Basically fusing characters that share a voice actor. So like,
that's
Tara Strong being a good example. Like if you combine Raven, Fluttershy, and Ben 10, and then somehow manage to make something out of that. I've seen that kind of series. What if you turn Serial Man into a serial mascot in your superhero universe? Not against that. And that would actually be very funny. Have that be like a cringy Saturday morning cartoon in the background and whatnot.
Like he's filming a commercial or something and the bad guys come busting through thinking he's a real hero. That could be
that
fun.
would actually be a lot of fun. I mean, also, I think it would be really hysterical to actually make a box of like what looks like, Serial Man cereal or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a ton of fun. And then, of course, in the back, it would have like him looking like he's fighting off the, what's it called? The hunger monsters or something like that. Oh, that would be a ton of fun to do. That would be a ton of fun to do.
There it is. Guest Duncan Brannon, 5-star Comic-Con.
Would you look at that?
Who does the voice for Barney and Chuck E. Cheese and all kinds of other characters.
Would you want to start wrapping things up from here, given how you got a whole other podcast to be part of?
Yeah, it's time to get going. And speaking of which, you could get going over to GoMrFish.com and sign up for the pre-launch page for the Green Zone trade, which is going to be launching next month. Because, in this environment, in this day and age, there's nothing more important than stopping back in a comic book. So be sure to go over there and give the Green Zone trade a follow. Yeah, I would really appreciate it. Maybe give it a share out to your friends. The trade's going to be really cool because it's going to have all kinds of extra short stories and stuff that have been published other places, and it's all going to be gathered up. There's going to be character bios for all the characters and stuff. So there's going to be lots of cool extra stuff in there. And it's going to be a director's cut where I'm editing the books and putting it all into one big long story, and I'm adding in the pages that I had to cut out to hit the book length, for each issue. So I'm getting to add in stuff that I had to cut out elsewhere. And so I'm really excited about that. But that's going to be launching early next month. So give it a follow. GoMrFish.com right there. And that's all I got.
And at least on my end of things, I'm still in the process of Grub number 1. Again, I'm making these books as fast as I possibly can. I'm really trying to be the perfectionist out of me. And the goal is just to try to create at least one book a month. So I'm going to be doing Grub number 1 this month. Next month, I'm going to see if I can do Grub number 2, so on and so forth, until I can probably get onto the next character. I'll be sure to make some video updates talking about, my process in creating the Grub and also some other ideas that I have for later down the road in this little, ragtag-like universe, if you will. Anyways, but outside of that, though, you guys can follow our channels. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do the typical YouTuber things. And I think we are more or less going to be ending our segment here. So to the nieces, nephews, and all the other fun weirdos out there, make sure to follow these 3 simple rules. Make sure to stay awesome, stay weird, and to keep life to the easiest. Always remember that art inspires all, but you can inspire more. And never forget to stay ultra. Your uncles love you.
Roll for hero.
And even if you were to have like a prompt of 10 different things, right? Like say if you had one prompt of like, oh, like here's 10 different personality traits, here's 10 different superpowers, here's 10 different drawbacks.
I like coming up with random list of powers and then just see what I come up with.
Imagine rolling just those things every single time. It's always going to vary. You know, the possibility of that happening is, again, like a 1 in 10 chance, but it's like, it shows that there's an infinite
There's always something else cool right around the corner that we can come up with.